Hi, welcome back to Chat Speaks, where I speak on things related to politics, motivation, faith, and things related to the culture. And today I'm going to be talking with my friend Gen Z, Angelo. Well, his YouTube page is Gen Z, and his name is Angelo. But before we get into discussing with him some things about the election, some things about his political stance, and how his faith is has led his way to what he believes. Please remember to share, like, subscribe, comment below what you think of this discussion. And also, if you would like to support my channel, please see my Teespring store in the description, and also my PayPal is there. And I also want to thank for people who have purchased items for my Teespring store as well as contributed to my PayPal. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Angelo, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, it's a pleasure. Yes.
Now,
Yes.
we met a couple of months ago, and I was on your page, and it was just so shocking to me to see a 19-year-old with the political, religious, well, I'm not going to say religious, with the faith views that you have. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. Currently, I'm a 19-year-old Christian investor. Right now, I am figuring out my political views right now. I participated in my first election, voted 45. You know how I get down with that. And it was definitely a new experience. And right now, I'm really kind of immersing myself into the political realm. I just got connected. I really found God recently in the coming years after 18, out of high school, and I'm really finding myself. And so it's really a journey. I'm documenting it and trying to bring people to join me on that journey. Yes.
So, so before you were 18, sure you were doing some crazy things, but what led you to Christ?
Oh man. I gotta shout out Ben Shapiro on this one. Ben Shapiro, um, he had said something, and it really shook my mind, and it kept my head looking in the right direction. It got the ball rolling, and he said something to the like of paraquoting something like it. He said, which was something like, I believe, if not believe in God, then believe in what, or if not believe in something, then believe in what. And at the point, I wasn't thinking of anything. I was like, science, and stuff like that. But then I was like, no, 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 no. I'm like, something must have happened. There's a reason why we're all here. There's a reason why I've been put in the positions I've been put. There's a purpose, and I've seen that, and I've witnessed that outside of the Bible. At that point, I've never read the Bible, and I grew up in a Christian family, and I've always been taught of the Lord, and everything in it is very, very valuable. And so I couldn't shake off the fact that God definitely was with me the whole time, and it's not that God had ever left me; it's that I left God, and I need to bring myself back. So that was really my journey to God. Yes.
So on that journey, it also led you to start looking into politics.
Yes. Yes.
So did you look at both platforms, or I mean, there's like more than, I think there's what, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party. What made you go right instead of left?
Yeah. I'll I would say this. I definitely push more towards the right because again, one of the main things about God is truth, right? And when I was being told that I'm being hunted down in the street by people of the same ethnicity, it was hard to listen to that because that wasn't necessarily the truth. I mean, as they were saying that outside, a cop car had drove. Quite ironically, a cop car was driving by. They weren't just looking while they're driving by. Like, hey, look at this guy over here. Let's get him. That ain't happening. I look and I'm like, okay, hey, I always was so go with the flowy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just a brother and I'm oppressed and it's bad. Boohoo me. I born in the wrong skin, etc. It was really negative, and investing everything that God has put in front of me had led me to having a more open mindset and look at the truth, right? For example, investing also led me into my political views. For example, with investing, we have to have an open mind. And a lot of people that are typically trapped in the democratic plantation, they'd never open their mind. And so, being in entrepreneurship, I was already trained to have an open mind and being open to things not being what I always thought they were. And so, I always thought, oh, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, then you get a pension and you retire. But as I'm sure you know, there's not really too many pensions out there anymore. More like 401ks and 401ks. It can go either way really, and it's not as good as things used to be. And part of being financially free and making a living is much harder than it was before. Before you could go to college and actually make a lot, but now prices have went up so much that you could go to college, get a degree, and you'll still be living paycheck to paycheck. So, I think I'm going on a tangent, but my thing is really having that open mind and being like, okay, maybe college won't work. Let me try something else. That's what made me apply that same mindset to politics, right? Okay, Democratic policies, Obama, black men in office, didn't do crap. Let's try something else. And so I applied that same type of knowledge there, right? Instead of college, invest. Investing is the way, yeah, nowadays, right? Online, doing things like that. Like you have your business right now, on your page, you got the Teespring, you got all that good stuff, really awesome. And so it led me into that type of realm of space. And then obviously God is truth. And like I said, the truth, I'm not being hunted down the street, this and that. I had white teachers, and no, they didn't discriminate me. They didn't put me in the corner of the class. I was equally treated. So many things, but yes.
So why do you think that the media and the Democratic Party is pushing that narrative?
Well, they got to be up to something. They got to be up to something. And that's just, I think we all see it. People that have looked at both sides, we all see it. There's something going on. Like I said, I'm just kind of jumping into this realm of space. I don't want to make a assumption, but there's so many things that are just seeable, right? Like, for example, Fox News calling the elections
Right.
and guaranteeing and saying, Joe Biden stamped the presidential elect. When I learned that the way that presidents get elected is not through the media, AP, Associated Press, but through our valid legal votes that determine that. So there's some sort of weird corruption going on. I already know that there are 6 companies that own majority of all the news networks. Comcast, crap. Oh my gosh, Disney, and a bunch of others. And so, there's something going on, some collusion, and being taught as an investor, collusion is very likely the case, and it's a shame. These corporate companies, greed, sin, and everything else, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when I started studying the Bible and started studying the Word of God, it taught me that you can't be a victim and a victor at the same time. Like, there may be some things that are going on in your life or some things going on in the world, but you don't accept that reality. We can change the reality with our words, with our thoughts. That's why the Bible says that death and life is in the power of the tongue. That is a
You
man.
know?
So is he. So if you always think, like, I have friends that, well, they're not really friends, but they're friends on Facebook, whatever, and they're like,
Yep.
you got an oppressor, and I'm like, look, I don't have an oppressor. I've never been oppressed. I said, if anything, if the biggest oppressor of me has been me not wanting to either walk out on a new venture or just being fearful or procrastinating. So I don't buy into that I have an oppressor,
I like
because
it.
the Bible says that I am more than a conqueror. I'm a child of the Most High. So
Wow.
you can't straddle the fence into for victimhood as well as victor. And so I think a lot of people, that has been their safety blanket, as saying that people of color. And I'm not saying that there's not racism out there, but
Sure. Yeah.
there's also opportunity. And the Bible says that if God is for you, who can be against you? And a lot of times we go to church and we hear these things, but we don't renew our mind to the truth of God's world, that no matter what's going to come against you, God's word, God's power is stronger than that. I mean, we the same power that rose Christ from the dead resides in us. So
Wow.
yeah, there's wickedness out there. We can see that wickedness is running. Seems like it's running rampant, not just in the United
Yes,
States,
Chaz. I definitely agree with that. Yeah,
but
wickedness is on a whole nother level. It's been escalating ever since, like, I want to say last election with Obama. It just things just hit the fan, and it's going at an extreme rate. We're already losing our right to practice at churches. We're losing our right to gather and in prayer. We're losing a lot of our rights very quickly, and it's a sham. It really is.
it is. And what's even more infuriating is that there's a lot of churches and a lot of Christians that are standing with this antichrist agenda and thinking that
Yep.
God is ordaining this.
Yep.
Uh,
Guess what I saw? Guess what I saw right outside of the police station?
what?
Right outside of it, I saw an American flag right outside the police station. Really cool, awesome. Next to it, you see the California flag because I'm in the state of California, and then right under it, you see BLM, Black Lives Matter, right outside the police station and the fire department. You know, and I really find that spit to all the police officers and fire departments that are there because again, if you think about that, they want to defund you guys, and you got it right outside your building. Every day you go to work, you kissing that flag, man. I mean, it's sad. It's sad to have to do that.
Well,
Um,
doing it is to pay homage to. They're saying it's like people are being forced to put these signs up because they think that if they have this up, then when they start rioting, that they'll look over that building. It's like,
it's
hey,
sad.
like I saw a video. I'm gonna shout out Flecka Talks. I love. He does like a week in culture.
He is great.
I like.
Yes.
He showed in his video that he just released Week in Culture number 19. There was this guy standing up, like Black Lives Matter was marching through the streets, and they were on his yard, and he was saying, "Hey, look, you see my Biden Harris sign? Don't destroy my property." And then this white girl goes, "You're telling these black people to not destroy your property, to protest peacefully? You're a white supremacist." Uh, People not to
I
like,
saw that.
isn't that crazy? Isn't
That's
that's where we
crazy.
are? That's where we are. And I'm
Oh
pretty
my gosh.
he lived in an area where, like in Texas, we have stand your ground law. Like if you don't get off my ground, if you don't get off my lawn and I feel threatened, then we can stand our ground. And I'm pretty
Yep.
sure that he was in a city or town or state that does not have that. I
Yeah,
was
that's the mess. And again, like I said, the people that do that and you do cave because of fear. I mean, God tells you not to look at the wind. Don't look at the wind. Don't look at what you assume might happen if you say this or that. Speak truth. That's what we do as Christians. Okay, we don't fold. We don't fold. And whenever you fold and you go against what God's telling you, it always hits the fan. So I mean, it makes sense that again, like I say, BLM did do that. And it's weird, but yeah, I mean, they don't care. They seek to destroy. And once they're done, and once all the Republicans or whoever the other people may be that they're attacking leave, they're going to eat each other alive. And we already see that happening. Nancy Pelosi is now starting to get, look for votes, trying to cram for votes to stay in office. Can't find any because, well, it looks like AOC's team is just not having it. Now they're having many factions in there and civil war between the Democrats. And I mean, man, you can't make this stuff up. It's just right from the Bible. It's crazy.
Yeah, I tell people like people Chaz, look what I said, look, calm down. Get you some popcorn. This is gonna ride out for a little bit. And I
Yeah,
I'm gonna get another 4 years, especially with all this corruption coming up. But it's interesting that you say that our rights are being eroded, and they are. And a lot of people don't
yeah,
understand that. But I was talking to a friend who knows someone that marched in the civil rights era. And he said it is crazy In my day, we marched for our rights. He said, now I see people marching to have their rights taken away. And that's the day that we live in. It's really sad. Like for me, I'm like that person that, like with Nate Turner, he said, hey, who wants to be free? And all the slaves step forward. And then he's like, you see, we got to do with those other ones, because when you live in a country where you've had freedom all your life, going not having your freedom is unthinkable to me. Like I just posted an article on my Facebook where Dr. Fauci said, he appreciates the American spirit, but now it's time to do what we say.
Mm, mm. That is a mess. That's a mess. And again, Fauci with the Bill Gates Foundation, it's corrupt. I mean, I wouldn't trust Fauci. He's not even a doctor that practices.
No,
He's not even a doctor that practices. And
yeah.
and you got him telling us what we need to take and what we can't take, and about hydroxychloroquine being so bad. But he's not in the office. He's not giving people these things. It's weird. It's a really weird subject. I kind of wanted to ask you, moving back to the enemy thing, it's kind of interesting because we got now, after that discussion, we got Trump winning in all these states, going to court and actually beating these battles. I want to know what enemy's thoughts are about all that now that we see the court process going. Again, like I said, I'm kind of going through this for the first time, so I'm just kind of all eyes and ears right now. It looks like we might actually win. If we have him back on, I'll definitely make sure to see what his thoughts are on this for sure, because he did claim pretty heavily that we always complain, nothing happens, but I guess it gives me some hope. It gives me some hope.
Well, it just wasn't adding up. Like he had all of these people, like not the libertarians, which was only less than 1% of the whole vote in total. But he had the Cubans, he had the Hispanics, he had the black vote. He even had the suburban.
Well, he had a lot of those votes. He had more than he did last time, but he doesn't have he doesn't have more than half. He doesn't have a majority of the black votes. He still has, but he has done better. He has done better than he did last elections, and I think that's what's really good. And it shows if he won last election with less than what he has now for the minorities, it should line up to a victory. But again, like I say, I think either way we're making trends, and I definitely see Trump making a second term. But the only difference I see is, for me at least, even if it may not be this one, I definitely see Trump doing 2 terms. And this is what I mean, because I can see with the voter fraud going on, kind of where Emily's coming from. I mean, it is a lot of voter fraud to undo, and I mean, what happens if he does win? I definitely see Trump coming back 2024. So I see 2 ways of Trump coming back for 2 turns. I definitely think that there was a lot of fraud and a lot of corruption going on this election, but either way, I definitely see Trump doing 2 turns for sure. I mean, could you see Trump coming back if this corruption, this crap that happens, does end up pushing through? You see him coming back 2024? Or
I see
what
him
do you see?
2020. I think that if Trump doesn't get in office, I don't even know what America will look like in 2024. I don't even know if there's America to come to.
Yeah, there might be a whole civil war, because I've been hearing a lot. You got a lot of the patriots coming out, and they're not gonna like what goes on, especially if there's still corruption, there's still questions. You know what I mean? There's still questions.
And the thing about it is that this is not just about America. This is about the whole world. The whole world is looking at Trump. The whole world is looking at America, because when America goes down, then the whole world goes down. Someone told me that lived in Africa, he said when America gets a cold, the whole world gets a flu. And I found it very interesting. And I think I shared this on, I don't know if it was after we had ended the conversation, or if it was during the conversation with the 4 of us last Saturday. But when it looked like Trump was winning on election day, the Chinese dollar went down. On Saturday, when they elected him as the
projected elect, yeah.
They didn't say projected. They said they didn't even say projected. They said that he has been nominated as the president elect, and the Japanese dollar it rocketed up high. So
yeah. No, but I'm saying that is the projected elect, right? The AP. Associated Press, they projected him as the elect. Whether they said it was a projection or not, I mean they pretty much projected him as elect. They didn't officiate him as elect. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
And then
they definitely are playing it off like it is though official. Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
I see that. Yeah.
what is the office of? There's no such thing as the office of the elect, and I think that Fox was just waiting in the wings to come out and show their true form, and I really do think that I
Wait,
don't know.
what were you saying? You said what about office?
There's no such thing as the office of the president elect. There's no such thing. They just made that up.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying it's not the official elect. It's
Oh no,
definitely
but
not the
you know,
official.
time you see him, he has this mural in back of him saying the
Oh, they're saying the office of elect.
yes. Then
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So
that's weird.
Fox, they when they called Arizona, when they started doing all this stuff, they actually
Yeah,
thought that conservatives they
would
used Fox.
fold.
They thought that conservatives would be like, okay, well, Fox said it, so that we're going to go with them. But conservatives, real like you said, free thinking. Like we
Yeah,
don't follow trends. We follow, we look for facts. We
yeah,
question.
most of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
most.
most of us do. And some conservatives have voted like, well, I'm like, no,
Yeah, yeah.
we there. I just really Giuliani. He took down like 7 or 9 mob families in New York. So he's a perfect lawyer to handle this. So, and they just keep finding corruption, these Dominion machines that found ties with China, Cuba, and Venezuela. These are the machines that they use to determine the outcomes of their elections.
Mm.
Their elections are usually riddled with fraud.
Yeah.
So, but let me get back to you. So you're 19, you're trying to find
Yes.
a way. How do you jive with your friends who are the same age?
It's interesting. I mean, I'm in a democratic city, and it's tough. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? You run into a lot of radicals, a lot of radicals, mostly radicals. You talk to them, and they'll say things like, for example, I was playing the PlayStation last night, and I was talking to a guy that was like-minded. He was actually it seemed like he knew a little bit of what he was talking about. And then there was this other guy. So 3 people in the lobby. Me, this guy seemed like he knew a little bit about Joe Biden and touchy Joe and all the other stuff about Joe. And then we had this radical leftist. So radical leftist, he was basically saying, yeah, Joe Biden won the election. Joe Biden won the election. Now, guy who seemed like he knew he was talking about, he was like, hold on. He didn't necessarily fully win. Da 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 da. I'm like, there's actually not a radical leftist in the lobby. I'm like, all right, let me hop on that. And I say, yeah, it's not fully elected. I said, mostly, the Democrats are, they're, easily swayed to believe that because the news outlets going with it. But, again, like a lot of us Republicans were paying attention to that. So it was a little shot at the radical left, just a little bit. And then he was like, y'all are Trump supporters? Oh, sound like y'all supporting Trump. I'm like, how are we supporting Trump? By saying the fact that the elections aren't over. I mean, just saying that the elections aren't over. I mean, it's not like I'm running gun ho saying that, but he assumed that, even though I am. But no problem with that. Dude, I was just like, hey man, yo, you know what I'm saying? You make it seem like an insult to support Trump. I'm like, don't you know about the '94 crime bill? And this guy's like another like mixed guy as well. So it's like it was really, I was able to like kind of get to him. I'm like, hey bro, like I'm mixed too, but I'm a free thinker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a one party voter. I'm not monolithic. Why do you vote for Biden? Couldn't tell me a reason. Couldn't. He told me, oh, but Trump, he put kids in cages. I said, Trump put kids in cages. I got a question for you. I said, who made the cages? I said, the person you're voting for. Obama and Biden made the cages. Oh my gosh. So we had this long debate, him basically saying those talking points. Oh, you voting for Trump. Oh, this and that. Oh, why are you doing that? Oh man, that's so bad. Oh my gosh, he's a racist and this and that. Orange man bad. I'm like, oh man. And I just kept hitting him and hitting him. And he was like, oh, Trump, he's got the whole nation divided. I'm like, he's got the whole nation divided. Have you seen the Obama administration? The whole nation was already divided. Listen, listen, listen. I'm like, you want to talk about police brutality? Guess what? Guess what? How many unarmed black men are being shot by the police a year? I'll let you guess. He said a lot. I said, okay, but what number? Oh, like 100, couple thousand. He just, random numbers, right? I'm
Wow.
like, all right. I'm like, all right. I said, you'll be surprised. 9. He said cap. I'm like, not cap. I said 9. 9 died, dude. I said 9. I said, fact check me right now. I said, I'll sit here. We're all waiting for the next game. We'll wait. Go ahead, find it. Find the stats. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh man, you want to change the subject, man. We was just talking about, how Trump being racist, and you want to change his police brutality. I'm like, bro, just admit it, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're talking about, man. It's okay. You know what I mean? But, you know, yeah. So again, that's fairly my relationship with the left. That was it. That one example last night is pretty much every day. So yeah, it's pretty it's always controversial. But yeah.
Have you found any like people to like hang out with that have your same views, or is it most?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Last night, the dude, the young man the teen that I was in the lobby with, he was 15. He was 15, and I was talking to and he was knowing what he was talking about. He was the one that was saying the elections aren't over. That's why I was surprised, because I'm hanging with this teen dude, 15. I'm like, bro, how does he know that 15? That was really dope. And so there are Gen Zers out there, but I think they're so in the closet that I only run into the radical leftists that are so open about it. And then the in the closet guys just don't talk about it, so I never really run into them. But I think there's a lot. There's a good bit. I definitely think your channel's helping a lot. You give your audience, you give so many people a voice, and I think it's a beautiful thing. Same thing here on our page. I think what we're all doing here is really great, and I think if we just keep this up, we keep red pilling. I mean, they can't censor us all. I mean, I think we're really going to make a huge difference, and that's why I love connecting with you. I love you and everything about your page. Big respects, but yeah, nah. I think they're out there though for sure.
Well,
So,
I love your page too, and I love the fact that
thank
you
you.
are so young, 19 years
Yeah,
old. You are showing you're like a voice in the wilderness, like
yeah,
because a lot of people are looking at you because you are 19 and because you do have brown skin, and they think that you're supposed to be in a certain box. And when you
yeah.
open your mouth, they're like, "Wait a minute, you don't fit this." And then especially when you say that, I just passed by a police officer and nothing happened. So,
Yeah, and just jump out with a Glock 40 and just aim it at my neck, hands down. Nah, that didn't happen. I mean, I gotta work past the police station every day. I'm not intimidated by that. I feel more protected. And a lot of people. And when I was debating with that other guy, I think he's like 19, radical leftist guy. Same age as me, and he came through talking about what was it? He was basically talking about how like we're hunted down. I'm like, bro, like I'm saying, you know what I mean? We're similar ethnicity, man. We similar background, man. Both from same places, man. I'm like, I don't see it that way, man. Like, I see it different, and I think it's okay to see it different, and it's okay to talk to people to see it different. But you know what I mean? When you go and you try to insult somebody, you know what I mean? Trump supporter. I mean, I don't know why you said it as if it was gonna hurt my feelings. But again, like I say, you're voting for the same guy that put kids in cages. Out your own mouth, you said that you didn't even like that Trump did that. What? You don't like the wall? We went into like a huge little we went on tangent. We talked about the wall, and about the wall. You want to talk about how black unemployment? You want to talk about another big cause of black unemployment? You letting all them illegals up in there, and then he kept on. Oh, but the illegals. Oh, they don't have opportunities, and oh, you just come into the work. But I thought we were just talking about how we getting hunted down the street. We need jobs, but we need in the black community. We need jobs in. So why are we gonna open it up? They're taking our jobs, and they're not taking our jobs. They're taking the white people jobs. I said they ain't taking their jobs. They are working at Apple and Google. The illegal immigrants, they're over here taking our jobs, man. They're taking the ones the black community needs. You know what I'm saying? And then he basically going back and forth, and he was telling me I'm going back and forth. I'm just following him. you know. But yeah, now there's a lot of hypocrisy on the left. It is definitely a mess. What is your experiences with the hypocrisy on the left?
well, I just see it. Like they say, Black Lives Matter, or the thing with Black women. It's like, oh my God, Black women in power, blah 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 blah. But then when they find out that I'm a Black woman that is conservative, then I'm called a bootlicker or a house in. I got called a Sambo. I got called a new one, a
Mm,
Lily, which I don't even know what that.
mm,
And so
yeah.
it's like, okay, so my blackness matters when it aligns up with how you think that I should think and feel. Or even with like Brendan Strucker, the walkaway guy. You know,
Yep.
the left says they're champions of the homosexual community, but then with him, they
They
were calling
disown him.
all kinds of names
Yeah,
and
they disown him.
yeah.
It's
So
a mess.
if you don't align up with their ideology and their view of what they think that you should line up, no matter your sex, gender, color, whatever, they are going to find a way to demonize you. And
Mm.
so I can't deal with that. It's the height of hypocrisy. Like, so now, like when Joe Biden was supposedly elected, everyone is so fearful of this COVID and of all that. But all in these Democratic states, they're out, and the governors and mayors are out dancing in the streets and all kinds of stuff. What Lori Lightfoot didn't even have a mask on, and she's out there.
Lori. I don't like Lori. Lori
She's
is
a communist, and so is Gretchen Richin, and so is Bill de Blasio and Como and Gavin Newsom. Your governor.
yep,
And
yep. He's a mess. He's a mess. It's crazy. It's crazy. You got all these radicals. I don't like talking about these radicals. Let me tell you something. If I spent my time making content on them, I'd probably be at a million subs by now. They make so much content for people, man. They make so much content to where I don't even want to make content on them. Ain't that something? Oh my gosh.
but
They
Thanksgiving.
yeah. No, they are a mess. They are a mess. And again, they're gonna have us locked down for Thanksgiving. They're gonna have us locked down for Christmas. In Cali, we're locked down right now. But the whole time, So it's crazy. Wearing a mask everywhere, man. It's just it's stupid. So
So you have to wear a mask even outside, like you're outside, or does it just mean you go into a building?
oh no. We could take our masks outside, but again, like I work a job where I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting and running around and stuff. I gotta wear a mask the whole time. What up? I get fired. So to make a living, what I'm saying, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. So it's a mess. It is. And again, I think it's something that definitely does need to never happen again in history. And I think we need to make policies to where this does not infringe on our rights again. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because
people don't understand that the Constitution is there so that they are not infringing our rights. But a lot of people don't know what the Constitution is or what their rights are. And a lot of people, they have gotten so many people scared of this coronavirus and not, really thinking about, God created our immune system. And if we take care of our immune system, then a lot of that will curve out a lot, like vitamin D, exercise, stop smoking,
there you go. The
healthy.
real solution. The
Yeah,
real.
like that. But a lot of the left has, and I'm not saying, like I said, it's not, there have been people who have passed away from it, and my condolences to their family.
Sure.
But the fear of it, the fear has been to the point where they're asking for the government to take our rights away. And the people who are saying that, no, I don't want my right. I want the right to, in a free country, we have to be tolerant of the right of others to have the right to not do what they think is right. You
Yep.
know, and that if you want to live in a country where it's socialist or communist, well, they don't really think it's communist, then try going to Venezuela, try going to Africa,
Cuba.
to
Yep.
Cuba, and
Yep.
ask for all these so-called rights. For, I mean, it's just that those people would love to be over here. They would love to be over here. The people that were protesting in Hong Kong were holding up the American flag and shouting Trump, and the people over here are holding up the Communist Manifesto and shouting "Back to America." It's just really crazy. So, from a 19-year-old's point of view, and you just getting into this arena,
Yes.
It's crazy. Where do you think, have you ever thought about running for office, or what do you think your path is going to be from here?
Still figuring that out. I think that it definitely is an option. But I think in order for me to do anything or make any difference, I need financial freedom. I think that this is a capitalist country, and pro-Americans should definitely be for financial freedom. I think everybody could and should go for financial freedom, and that's definitely my first step. I think that especially even on the Gen Z page, what we always want to include is financial education. It's hard to get people in the financial realm. Oh my gosh! But I think that definitely we want to push more. First step financial freedom. Second step, using that financial freedom to create time. Right. For example. I'm not sure if we have time, but could I just run through a quick thing real quick? Okay, so take a Chastity, right? Is your name right? So let's say Pastany, not Chastity, but Pastany. Let's say Pastany buys a 4-unit multifamily complex, right? Apartment building, right? 4 people paying rent. Okay, let's say rent. We're out here in Cali. Let's say they pay about $2,000 a month, right, for rent, which is pretty decent. Okay, you got 4 people paying you 2,000. How much is that per month that you as the or Pastany would, not you, would be getting every month in their cash flow?
8,000.
8,000 a month. Now, the main question that you got to ask yourself is could a person like Pastany or maybe even Chastity live comfortably off of 8,000 a month in the area you're in?
Oh, yeah, I'm in Texas. Oh, yeah.
you know, so that's the question. And the cool thing about financial freedom, the cool thing about entrepreneurship is nobody said you can only get that 4-unit. You get 8-unit, 10-unit. You get 2 10 units. And then you could make the profits. The profits 8,000 a month that comes in. You go and use that to buy another 8-unit. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the beauty about investing. Now, obviously, take into account a mortgage if you have it, repairs and things like that. But roughly, you'll be walking away with that 1 unit with about half that, or probably even a quarter of that. Depending on what happens and where you're at. And that's the beauty, though, of entrepreneurship, and it's really about that financial freedom, and that's kind of really generally where we push. But yeah, now for me, as far as getting into office or anything like that, I definitely would need financial freedom. I think that that's extremely important. And get myself on Officer Tatum's level, how to start a business like Tatum Report, or get like Michael Knowles and start up a Daily Wire, even get like Chastity, open up a Teespring. I don't have a Teespring, so I think I definitely need to definitely get in that realm, and then after that I can
You
start making
you
making moves.
definitely need to get one.
Definitely.
With all of your followers, get the Gen Z logo and all that, the cup, hat, the face mask, whatever. You definitely need that.
Definitely. The only thing there is that we're in the process of like a name change, and so we're like, we're still trying to figure out, what I mean, first, the name and then the logo for that, and then I'll be able to like set that stuff up. Right now, we're definitely thinking of a name change. We want it to be something that really encases the course of the channel, because again, our channel isn't Gen Z. I mean, we don't have people just Gen Z. We got a lot of all types of people. We got millennials on, like Tati Talks and plenty of others, and we have other people that aren't, Gen Z. And so, it's a little weird, but we want to target Gen Z. Want a name that fits it. I don't know. Anybody watching, if you guys want to recommend me a name, if it's cool, definitely leave recommendations. That's cool. But yeah.
Yeah, in the comment below,
Yes.
suggestions about what you think that what Angelo should change his name to, and I'll either pass him back to him, or he'll come on and look and see. So,
Yep.
one final question for you.
All
So,
right.
what made you decide to actually step out? Because it is a fearful thing to step out as a Black conservative, especially one that is 19. Peer pressure is all around you. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of you, like, in your bracket doing this. What gave you the courage, or what gave you the idea to break the mold and say, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it?
A few things. Okay. So I'll say this. Okay. 1%ers tend to land on top. People that are always outside the box tend to win, and in any facet, whether it be holding on to religion. We have such a small percentage nowadays, and it's almost disheartening. It's almost sad to see, but you gotta believe it. A lot of the people, that are holding on to religion, we're making strides, and we're making strides, and it's a beautiful thing, right? Same thing with another facet. Let's say investing. Those that decided not to go to college and do the comfortable thing, right? I would compare college to being a Democrat politically, and then I would compare possibly being a investor who takes risks and starts a Teespring and starts a YouTube page and starts getting monetized, taking that risk, starting a business as being a Republican. I mean, being a one percenter, being outside the box is always something I push for. I think that uh, it has no price to it. I think that taking those risks and doing things and being unique is always important because again, no same person is the same. Okay, now you can act the same. You can try to copy Michael Jordan, buy his Jordans all you want, but until you make your own shoes, you make your own Gen Z coffee. You're not really expressing yourself to your potential. You know what I mean? You're just being a LeBron shoe guy. Not knocking LeBron fans, but I'm just saying. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
radical leftist. Off topic. But being yourself, going outside the box. Trying to make things for yourself. Making your own business, doing things on your own. I think it's much better that way, and you can express yourself better. You could be at your highest potential. So, I mean, that's what really got me into politics. I think that politics um, is one of those things that once you really get a look inside, it's kind of hard to go back, to your democratic plantation ways. Once you know the truth, it's out there, and the truth is self-evident, but you got to look, you got to find it. Taking those famous words from Tati Talks, who said that very, very, very powerful words.
Yeah. So where can people find you at?
You can find me on my YouTube page. Just search up Gen Z. Now, it's hard to find me because of the name. We're working on a name change. But hopefully link maybe in the description.
I'm going to link it in the description.
Link in the description. I'm on YouTube. And then, yeah, that's kind of it for now. I still need to venture out. But yes, on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube, Gen Z. Soon the channel will be changed. So just go to the link in the description. You'll find me.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description. And also, you
Awesome.
also be thinking about making like a study course on investment. Um,
Wow.
there's so many things out there that you can venture out on what you're doing
Yeah.
because you're unique. That you're
Thank
19,
you.
that you're in the political realm, and a lot of people will follow you. A lot of people, you have a voice. Everyone has a voice, but my voice may not reach the people that you can reach, and your voice may not
Sure.
reach people. So
Sure.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you did your own research and that you
Thank you.
ventured out of the ordinary and stepped into something that's great. I know you're going to do great, and I hope to have you back on. For those
Wow.
watching, thank you so much for watching.
And could I
I'm
could I
sorry.
could I say could I have one more thing
Sure, go ahead.
real quick? I just want to tell the viewers, just a little spill on the investing in financial freedom, just a little bit, because again, I think that it's so much neglected, and I think it's extremely important. You got to think, right? 30-year plan, all these things that are conspiracy, which some of it actually has evidence. I'm not going to necessarily call it that, but I'll definitely say a lot of these interesting things that are going on. The deep state, which is a fact. Um, they want us to be working a 9 to 5. Working a 9 to 5, we can't research during that 9 to 5. They want us distracted. They want us watching CNN when we get home and rely on them to do the research for us. So I really challenge any and every viewer, if I give any message to you guys before I get off, is to definitely search for financial freedom. I want all my Republicans to be financially successful. That way, we could really have the time and resources to make the differences we want to make. And
I
with that, yeah, with that, I just thank you very much for having me on. You are awesome, giving so many opportunities to so many people. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I agree with that, especially with, they're trying to make lists of people who supported Trump to make them not have jobs and to
You know,
get them out of polite society. I don't even know if I want to be in polite society, but we do need to have our own financial freedom. Like Solomon said that a man should have at least 8 streams of income just in case one dries up. So
You
with
know.
I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much, Angelo, for being on my channel. I'm going to link the description in the description your channel, and you'll.
Yes.
I'm going to have you back on. Maybe with I have another young man that I may want to have y'all back on and just get y'all's interaction about politics, faith,
Yes.
like that. And also for y'all watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Again, please, if you would like to support my channel, visit my Teespring store. And if you would like to donate, my PayPal is also below. So God bless you and God bless America.